and welcome back to yet another episode of Mom Q&A with Mamas Uncut, where we talk about motherhood, parenting, relationships, and so much more based off of the questions you send us anonymously. Again, we got Mindy and Lisa. You guys ready to get started?
Yep.
All right, let's do this. My husband and I have been married for 7 years. We have had a lot of downs lately, and he has decided to move out. No separation, no divorce, just move out. He signed a lease within 2 weeks of his needing space phase. He now has a place 5 minutes away. He still loves me, still wants to work on our marriage, wants the children to bounce from house to house, but it is causing substantial financial burden and it's hurting our savings. We have 3 kids and he just kind of left me. He still wants to date on the weekends, just needs space and possible therapy. I really want it to work, but I can't get over the fact that if he did love me, he would have stayed. Has anyone else been through this? Can people really be lovingly living separately? What would you do?
Okay, first of all, if I could have, had 2 houses, like let's say they were right next door from each other while I was married, I'd still be married.
There's your answer.
Yes. So the answer to that is absolutely yes. And I'm definitely not the only woman who thinks this. But look, I think that something's going on with the husband, right? Something's going on with this guy. And I don't think he really understands it yet. And he's like, while I get it's frustrating that he's left, I actually cut him a little bit of slack and give him some credit that he's trying to figure it out. And it may not end up maybe the way she wants, but he's kind of owning it and he's kind of saying, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what's going on with me. And he's trying to do the work to figure it out, right? It doesn't sound like he's out partying. It doesn't sound like he's, doing crazy stuff. It sounds like he's in a place that he's not understanding himself and he doesn't know how to, he's trying to get his arms around it.
Yeah. I mean, I think her mentioning that he wants to go to therapy. That's very telling. And it's exactly what you were saying, Lisa. I think that, I understand the financial aspect of it. That has to be difficult. Maybe there's something else they could figure out that would work better financially, whether it's one of them or both of them downgrading to something or moving a little bit further away for less money. There's little compromises that can be made if that's one of her main problems with it. But I do, it sounds like they're working on it. Like he wants to do better. So for that reason, I think it's probably worth it to try and work through that with him. And who knows how long this will last. I mean, maybe she sets a time limit on it too. I don't know if that's even reasonable for him. It depends on what he's working through, right? If he's got big demons in his past, that could be a little bit unreasonable, but I think that it's worth working through in this scenario. It sounds like he loves her and she sounds like she's tired, but she probably still loves him too.
Yeah.
So
totally.
Yeah. I've never heard of this before, but I can see how it could work. I mean, as I was just saying, the way in which I process, like I like to be alone when I'm processing, and that works well for me now because I am single and I live alone and I have all the space that I need in order to do that. But I can see how that would be difficult if I were living with someone in a relationship. I think if it is becoming a financial burden, then what you said, Mindy, is like there maybe needs to be a time frame on this. Like, look, I'm supportive of you. I'm supportive of how you need to process, but we also need to think of the bigger picture here. And this can't be sustained for too much longer. So I think, now that it's happened, he's separated, he has started the process. Now it's time for you guys to come together and just really have some serious conversations about what needs to be done, and then kind of go from there, I guess.
I mean, honestly, I would also add, like, he really does need to go to therapy because it sounds like he's really not sure what's going on with him, right? And I would probably say as the wife, hey, if you're not willing to go to therapy, then that's a signal or a message to me that you're not doing the work to figure this out, and it really undermines or undercuts whether I can take at face value the fact that you want to date on weekends, the fact that you want to do these things that that you say you want to do, because what we're doing now is not long term. So we've got to decide one way or the other. But I'm willing to give you 4, 6, 8 weeks of space so that you can start talking to somebody and begin to get your arms around this, so that we can start having meaningful conversations about how to move forward with together or not together or whatever.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.